Welcome to the Caravan Show, where we discuss all things caravans. That's right, everything you need to know about caravans, from weights, towing, maintenance, appliances, renovations, buying a caravan, repairs, destinations and reviews. We'll also chat with some Aussie legends, manufacturers, suppliers and of course people who love caravans. Take it away, Roy.
Good morning, everyone. It's Roy West here from the Caravan Show podcast. This morning we're speaking to someone very special out at Bega. I have online with me right now Sharon Tapscott, and Sharon's got some exciting news to share with us. Sharon, welcome on the podcast this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Sharon, you're relatively new in the role of Mayor for Bega, aren't you?
Yes, I am very new in the role. I've been a councillor here for the last 8 years, but I've only been the mayor for the last 4 weeks, although I was a deputy mayor before that.
So new in the role, but not new in the region. You've been in the region for quite some time.
I've been in the region for a long time. My husband and I moved up here 35 years ago, and we were out on a property just north of Eden, just south of Pambula, and we've seen lots of changes. We've had 4 businesses in that time, and our family are all here. The grandchildren were all born here, so I have a very, very strong connection with the area.
You've still got a business though, don't you, Sharon?
Yes, my daughter and her husband have taken over the business that my husband and I had in Eden. And that business itself has been there for over 30 years, and we've had it for the last 16.
Can I ask what that business is?
Yes, it's the Eden Gas and Gear. So it is a camping store as well as a store where you can get all your BOC supplies, gas supplies, welding equipment, industrial clothing. But as an adjunct to that, we have quite an extensive camping display and barbecues and that kind of thing. But so we're very cognitive. It's a very diverse business, so we're very cognitive of exactly the seasons in our area, when it's a camping season, when it's not a camping season, the type of people that come and the needs that they require at that time.
Well, that certainly sounds like a place my listeners would like to hear about. Whereabout exactly is it again, Sharon? Sorry.
It's in Eden itself. It's on the roundabout. There's a flagpole in Eden as you come into the township of Eden. It's right on that corner and you can't miss it. It's bright green and blue, and it's got all the camping chairs and all the equipment out there signalling that you have arrived at not only in Eden but at Eden Gas and Gear.
Good on you. Thank you. So that's really good news that people want to know about where they can go to get their bits and pieces. So, Sharon, have you any idea how many caravan parks and things are in your region?
Yes, we've got over 20 caravan parks, and that extends from Bermagui right down to Eden. And there are a number of different types of caravan parks, but they're the caravan parks. And then on top of that, we have our national parks and the free campsites.
So what sort of a number of free campsites would you have?
Well, there are lots of places where people just pull up and park, and they can be problematic. But we have 20 national park campsites as well. So, but those parks have been impacted over the last, summer season. As you would know, we had the black summer bushfires here, and so you're best to check ahead if you're going into those campsites to find, make sure they're still available to you. And you can do that through the Sapphire Coast website.
So that's a very good point. How heavily affected have your region been by these bushfires?
We lost 60% of our region to bushfires.
Oh, wow.
Yes, well, we're a very, very heavily forested area. We have only in our shire, we have only 28% of rateable land. The rest is national parks and state forests. So, of course, they are absolutely stunning. They're beautiful. But, of course, when you've got a fire, it's a different environment altogether.
You'd be seeing regrowth already, though, wouldn't you?
Oh, yes. Look, it's stunning. It really is stunning. We spent 40 hours in darkness here as the fires raged around us. And through that, we were covered in a lot of potash and burnt debris, and then we got significant rain, and within hours, this vibrant green, iridescent green, popped up out of the ground and on the trees, and it was really spectacular to see.
You know, that's the sort of thing that I'd like to see happen to our tourist industry, to be honest with you. I mean, we've had this period where we've done more and more overseas travel with cruise ships and airplanes and so forth, going away from Australia. And I'm really hoping that we'll see an opportunity now for that regrowth in a very similar way for local tourism, that Australians will start to travel more in the country, start to get around and see the things that are on our doorstep. And we've got so much beautiful stuff. I mean, Bega, which for most of us brings, you know, the first thought comes to our mind is cheese, of course, because but it's such a beautiful area that offers so much more than just a cheese, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. We have the longest coastline. Our shire has the longest coastline of any other shire in New South Wales. And from the north to the south, we have a huge agricultural area, which is just pretty in itself because of all the fields and the and you know all the things that go with an agricultural area and farming area. And then right down to the south, where you have the most beautiful beaches and national parks, and we're so diverse, and we really are just waiting to be discovered. And the good old family road trip is what we'll all be going back to, hopefully. And there's so much to see here. Yesterday, I went to a beach that I had not been to, and I've lived here for 35 years, and that beach was only 20 minutes away from where I used to live.
Yeah, this is a common story. And again, this was one of the things that we've been promoting quite heavily. We need to look at what's on our doorstep. So many people are telling me the same thing. You know, that there are things 20 minutes from where I live, or 2 hours from where I live, or 4 hours, or whatever. We actually don't need to be spending 16 hours in an aeroplane to go and see things that's actually on our doorstep. And of course,
yeah,
but
exactly.
you're still not that far from cities, are you? Really? I mean,
No, well, yeah, we are a distance from a city. Our closest actual city is Canberra, and that's 3 hours away. But
3
then, so
hours.
the snowfields are 3 hours away from us as well. So, we've got the snowfields, we've got the beach, we've got the wilderness coast, we've got the most stunning scenery. We've just got everything down here, and but the reason that we are still beautiful is because we're very much eco-friendly down here. We love our environment, and we want to share it with others who are just willing to come and look, just leave a footprint and take a photo.
So you got lots of things for people to come and have a look at. You got things like you got a waterfall. What's it called? The waterfall there.
The Nethercote waterfall.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Oh well, that was just across the road from me where I used to live, the Nethercote waterfall. And it's stunning. It's a stunning rock formation. And when it runs, it really is amazing. We've got a number of waterfalls here. We've got the Mumbler Falls. We've got the Nethercote Falls, because we're very mountainous. And, a mountain always seems to bring with it a waterfall of some description. We've just got so many places that you could hike, trail bike, uh, just walk, have a picnic, sit on a beach, find a beach that nobody else is on. We've got vast expanses of beach. Then you've got the other more constructed kind of activities like golfing and bowls and diving and swimming and fishing and all those kind of seaside activities that we do during the summer. Then during autumn and winter, autumn and spring, we have the most beautiful weather. It really is balmy, no wind, and the walks are stunning. And you can get your bike out, and the weather's a bit cooler, so you can do those more energetic type of activities.
So it's a place you could visit, and you don't have to be there, or you won't be there for a day or two and get bored, because there's just so much to see and so much to do. You could camp and stay for weeks, if not months, from the sounds of it.
Oh, there's plenty to do. As I said yesterday, I found a beach I hadn't been on, and I've been here for 35 years. So I don't know how long you have to stay here to see everything.
Yeah.
More than 35 years, obviously. But, we have 4 town centres and a lot of little hamlets and villages, and we've got 21 town hall, little community halls, and they're worth seeing themselves, like just a trail around to see those halls. Some of them are just stunning. They're years and years old. So there's plenty of trails. There's wine trails, there's food trails, there's historical trails, there's heritage trails. You know, if you like walking or cycling, there's plenty to do.
And drinking, for the sounds of it. There's plenty to drink
Oh,
as well.
yep.
And historical sites and places, you have museum. You've got a museum there?
Yes, we've got the Killer Whale Museum down in Eden. That's has huge patronage, particularly when the cruise ships come in. But we've got little museums through all through the Shire. We've got the golf fields, which you can go to, the Montreal golf fields. Then we've got, you know, each little town has something to offer. You get in the car, take a picnic lunch, just travel around through the hinterland. There's just, you know, it's different. Everywhere you go is different.
One of my favourite questions to ask is that, you know, a lot of this information you can get by Googling nowadays. So simple, you get on the internet, you Google what's in this area. But they don't obviously tell you everything. There's always those local secrets. And I've been asking people if there's 3 little secret areas that you can tell us about that they won't necessarily find on Google. And having been in the area for 35 years, I'm guessing you're going to know a couple of those.
Oh, look, you know, there are probably stretches of places like the Bega River's got some lovely little places to picnic on. You know, you could look up the Bega River, but you possibly wouldn't find those places. You know, our wharfs are great. Any of our little wharfs are great to fish off or just go and sit on, or, you know, I don't know. It's the little beaches that may not necessarily be on Google, but if you just take a track, you'll find them. And, you know, often as not, you'll find you're the only person there. You know, just those type of things.
What about diversity of foods, for example? I mean, say you're very well known for your cheese, but there's obviously more than cheese available in your area.
Well, it's now peanut butter and Vegemite, of course. So the Bega cheese has now got those 2 brands. So we're very patriotic down here and very iconic. But we have, you know, Disaster Bay chilies. They're good. They make a wine too. And then we've got, you know, Rocky Hall wine, and I don't know, just these little things that I've just taken for granted. The local beekeepers put their honey out on the side of the road. I don't know. They're places that I just think about. I know they're there.
What about markets?
Oh yes, yeah. We have they've all got markets. Wyndham is a little village that has a market. Cabargo is another village that has a big market. Merimbula has a market. Pambula has a market. Yeah, we have. They're all normally on a Sunday. They do a Sunday each. So you'll find a market somewhere on a Sunday, somewhere in the Shire.
Also, what's important to our listeners is, you know, is there somewhere they can get their caravans or their motor vehicles repaired?
Oh, yes, there is. There's a number of places that you can get that done. In Eden, there's 2 caravan places you can go down to. And then most of the mechanics around here would be able to help you, but they're in Eden is 2 specialists. And then there's a place in Bega that does Majestic Homes. They also do caravan repairs. So Bega, you'd find somewhere in Bega, and you'd find somewhere in Eden, and they'd be specialist caravan places. And the other mechanics, then there's mechanics in every town.
Would you believe, Sharon, we've contacted a lot of mayors, and there has been, well, a couple that have, maybe not come on board with us the way we'd have liked. They've not reached out to say we want to welcome the caravanners into our area. In fact, there's 1 or 2 that have really suggested they really don't want caravanners. What would your thoughts be on that one?
I wouldn't know why you wouldn't want them.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can assume...
very much a part of our economy.
Yes, I see it that way. I see it as something that's very important, and the mayors that I've spoken to, or the people that I've spoken to, are saying, you know, please come and visit. We really need you. We need the boost to our economy. You're more than welcome to come here. We can cater for you. We can do these things. We've got lots to offer. Don't worry about going overseas, jumping on a boat or an airplane. It's much safer to come and see us. we speak the same language, we have the same monetary, same values, and
Yeah,
so
and
much to offer.
oh, absolutely. And I own a Winnebago myself. So I look for places that where I feel safe, that I can get to easily. Um, and but the thing that we really would like down here is for the caravanners and the RV people to spend more than one night with us.
Yeah.
Just come down, park for a day, get to know us a bit better, go into our little townships, go into our villages. No, by all means, we would embrace any tourist is welcome here.
Yeah.
And
Do you have a website and information centres?
oh yes, we have information centres at all our. We've got one in Marimbula, which is just brand new, and that's a little beauty. And then we've got one down in Eden, which is now going down to the wharf, our new wharf precinct, where we bring cruise ships in now. There, that in itself is interesting to see these huge cruise ships in our wharf. It's just amazing. So that's something worth seeing if you're down here. Then we have a very good information centre in Bega at the Cheese Heritage Centre. That's really good. That's worth a visit. Bermagui has an information centre, and then we also have our new. We have oh, I'm just trying to find it for you exactly what it's sapphirecoast.com.au, and that is where you'll get most of your tourist information. And they've just launched a new tourism ad, and it's called Start Feeling It.
Yes, I've heard something about this. So tell us all about this. Start feeling us.
Well,
What's this all
Start
about?
Feeling is, well, it's about us bringing back people here on the old family road trip. You all get in the car and you just go to somewhere that's not that far away within 6 to 8 hours, and you just spend some time at that place, and you just trip around with your family and have your fish and chips on the shore, and just immerse yourself in the local environment, meet the locals. Just things we used to do years ago when we had more simpler expectations of what we were going to see and how we were going to feel. It you know it we're not an international destination. We are a local destination, and it's everything that you said. We are compatible with everything that you understand. The money, the security, the safety aspects. We're down here waiting to embrace the local travellers within Australia.
And we need the local travellers. It's important to our local economies to have these people come and visit us, spend some money with us, and heck, they're not missing out on anything. It's all a big plus. I'm real keen on the idea of people spending more time travelling. Even on weekends.
Yes. Yeah.
What's happened is we're spending times at shopping centres instead of actually getting out there, taking the families out, weren't we?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You don't have to be down here. You don't have to say, "Oh, we're going to put 3 weeks aside." You can say, come from Canberra, come down for the weekend.
Yeah.
Just 2 days away, you'll feel refreshed by the time you get back. It's a completely different environment. We have no industries down here, so it's pristine environment, and it's just regenerating your body and your soul, and we embrace those type of people because we don't get a lot of international travellers down here. We're not on the bucket list. We're not on the unless they want to see whales. Of course, whales are huge down here, um, and we get a lot of whales here. We get a huge amount every year. We get more and more whales. They come here to calve, or they come down here with their calves. They feel very safe here. Um, so that's a huge tourist industry for us, but we still don't get a lot of internationals. So the local industry, the population of Australia is really where we target. We know they'll travel here. Australians are used to doing long miles in the car, so they're the type of people that we normally attract.
Sounds perfect to me. I can tell you now for definite Bega's on my bucket list. It's one place I want to go. And you've mentioned so many beautiful towns, Marimbula, Eden, Bermagui. These are all beautiful, beautiful places to go and visit.
Stunning. But our hinterland is beautiful too. Go out west a little bit. You've only got to go out west about 30 kilometres, and you'll find some lovely little hamlets and just beautiful places that, well, time hasn't forgotten, but they've kept they've kept things that are important to them, and you can see history just walking around the streets.
Yeah, because
Um,
we've got it in our brains for some reason that when you go travelling, you've got to put miles and miles and miles and miles on. But of course, truth is you don't.
no,
Truth is it's more readily available than what people realise. You don't have to, spend days and days and days travelling to get somewhere. There's so much you can do on the way. If I hear people travelling around Australia and say, oh, we spent 12 months travelling around Australia. You think, oh well, that's pretty good. But in reality, they could have spent 20 years travelling around Australia if they'd actually really looked at all the areas they've been to and spent time in them. They'd sort of travel through rather than spending the real time looking at what's
yeah,
around. Yeah,
they end up having a drive-by holiday. They drive by everything,
yeah,
but they've been there, but they didn't see anything
yeah, yeah. No,
or feel anything or
it's a
touch
tick on a
anything.
box, isn't it? Yeah, couldn't agree
Yeah,
more.
and you miss a lot of what the place is about. And I have to say, we're a changed environment down here since we've had the fires and we had the COVID. We're very much looking to a simpler life. We're very much looking to provide that simpler life to the people who are looking for an escape.
Come on, folks. You're listening to Sharon Tapscott from Bega, and she's saying, come down and see us, that they actually need you to visit. They need your
Yeah.
tourism dollar. So, Sharon, I really wish you super success. I know you're new in the position. I think Bega's very lucky to have a Lord Mayor like you that knows the area and really wants to do the job. So, congratulations to Bega for having Sharon on board. Sharon, look, well, I hope we can talk again, and I hope we can really, start feeling it.
Yeah, well, I hope so. And we've got the Start Feeling It campaign, and we all want to start feeling it. And I hope the next time we speak, I'll be able to give you some excellent news about how that campaign's gone and all the wonderful people that we've seen come down here and regenerate themselves and revigorate themselves and just enjoy our beautiful, beautiful countryside down here.
Beautiful, Sharon. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.